How's it going, everyone? It's GadgetsBoy. Welcome to another video. And in this one, I've got the Google Pixel 5, which was delivered a couple of days ago or so. And I wanted to do an unboxing video and all that stuff that you usually do straight away. But I thought, actually, let me just use the phone like a consumer. Let me just take it out the box like I've just bought it and come back and give you guys my quick first impressions within those few days. And here we are, quick first impressions of the Google Pixel 5. I'm loving it so far, by the way, but there are a few things, a few thoughts here and there that I want to share with you guys. Let's check it out. Starting with the design, this is the Sorta Sage color, which I really like as well. And this is made out of 100% recycled aluminium as well. So you are getting that level of premium in terms of a flagship device from Google. But then that's questionable. Is it really flagship with some of the specs that's in there? That's for you to answer. But I still think this is flagship level in terms of design. So I like this design on the back. It feels nice and soft. Nice curved edges on the back, so it feels nice in hand to hold as well. You got the fingerprint sensor on the back, and because this is only 6-inch device, it's easy to reach when you need to unlock your device on the go. You also get stereo speakers here as well, but it's quite mute. It's not the loudest out there in terms of the quality of it. So you get some at the bottom, and then there's one embedded in the screen, I think, right at the front there as well. But you don't really get that same quality you get with full-on frontal stereo speakers. There's no Face ID unlock, unfortunately, but I prefer fingerprint sensor because they're very quick and they just work each and every time. So reliability is important for me. I'd rather take reliability over some sort of fancy something that's going on there, or even in-screen fingerprint sensors are not that accurate, doesn't work all the time, as I found over the years. One thing I also love about the device is this rounded, ever so slightly rounded edges on the front, on the flat screen. Even though it's flat, the edges of it is kind of like just dropped a little bit. And the reason why I like this is because when I'm swiping up and down, it feels nice. You get a nice sensation out of it when you swipe up on the display. It's pretty cool. On that 6-inch of display, again, it's nice and symmetrical in terms of bezel. So you get zero bezel, well, near enough zero bezels. It's very thin on there. And then all you've got on the screen that's obstructing your screen real estate is that hole punch camera that's on the front. And that's the front-facing camera that can do 1080p at 30 frames per second. So again, for the front-facing camera, there's no 4K. That's something that's flagship level for most people, and that's a compromise that Google have made in that sense as well. Onto the camera on the back. Nothing much changed. In fact, it looks very identical to the Google Pixel 4 and the 4a and the 4a 5G. But what we've got here is an ultra wide angle lens at 16 megapixel, and we've also got a standard 12 megapixel lens. The 12 is f1.7 and the other one is f2.2. I really love the ultra wide angle lens. I've been using it. It works really well, and I'll take that over telephoto. I think digital zoom on here is really good as it is, so that's fine. I don't really zoom that much, to be honest. I'm quite traditional and old school photographer, so I like to get close to my subject and actually take those photos. In terms of portrait mode, that's still excellent. So those things I will love about the Pixel platform is still there. Like dual exposure mode is still there in photography, which I love using. It means you can expose the front, or if you just want to expose the back, you can do that as well. It means those dark backlit photos, you're not going to be getting those. There's some updates as well in terms of camera software. For example, you can shift portrait lighting. So if the lights on this side, for example, when you shoot, you can switch it to the other side and make the face a little bit more lit. That's something that you'd normally do with the screen reflectors. If you're a photographer, you use those screen reflectors to shine a light on which part of the face you want it to go to. So you cannot do that with the software on the phone, which is pretty smart if you ask me. Elsewhere, we have 8 gig of RAM and 128 gig of internal storage. That's basically standard. There's no expandable storage here. It's UFS 2.1, I believe, for the RAM. Sorry, for the storage. And you can't expand it, unfortunately. And again, that's something that some people might turn their nose at. I prefer an expandable storage. I use my micro SD card a lot for drone footage that I put straight into a smartphone to then see my footage, edit photos on the go, all that kind of stuff. This is also a full HD plus display, so there's no quad HD plus here, but you do get 90 Hertz refresh rate that you can switch on and off. Again, with adaptive brightness and Qualcomm Snapdragon 765G in there, it means that's better managed, so it doesn't really affect your battery life that much. Talking about battery, you get 4,000 milliamp hour battery, well, 4,080, but it's really 4,000 milliamp hour battery. And with that, this lasts more than a day. So far I've been using it, it lasts me a whole day and a little bit. So again, that's very impressive on the smartphone. But I put that down to software optimization and processor and all that kind of stuff, which is pretty cool. And AI as well, learning your battery usage to adapt and making sure that the right programs are being used when they need to use the battery and processor and that kind of stuff. You also got reverse wireless charging, which I didn't see coming at all from Google. It just means that you can charge your smartphone by just placing it on top of this. So what you can do is when this is plugged in, you can just turn it upside down and place your Google Pixel Bud, for example, on top of it and it starts charging, or you can switch it on manually yourself. In camera as well, something I noticed that they've changed with stabilization is you now get 3 different stabilization mode when shooting videos. 4 different ones. So you got standard, you got locked, you got active, and cinematic pan as well. The locked one is quite interesting when you put it on. It kind of locks into position, and when you move it, you can see it kind of like this little aggressive moment of the camera trying to move away from that locked stabilization scene, scene when you're recording videos. You can still do 4K at 60 frames per second with the main cameras on the back, which is pretty cool. You also still have night sight, which you can now use in video mode as well. And I kind of like the little Google Assistant thing that pops up on the bottom there. I don't know if you guys can see it. Can you see the color there? It kind of just pops up at the bottom every now and then just to like listen. Also lets you know that it's listening to what you need to do if you're asking questions or setting a reminder, all that kind of stuff. It's all there. But all in all, very simple to use. It's Android 11, so this is probably the first device that's going to have Android 11 ready to go out of the box, which is very good. Battery life is good in my experience so far with it. I really love the display. Gaming is great as well. Even though it's 765, processor 765G, I feel like the performance is more than good enough for me. And it makes me think about this device as that device that Google has listened to everyone in terms of what they want. We wanted the ultra wide angle lens, we got it. We wanted 90 Hertz refresh rate there, we've got it. It's full HD plus, not QHD, but again, they have to compromise somewhere. You have reverse wireless charging and wireless charging as well, very important. So I think it ticks the box in terms of a lot of things that we've gotten used to with other smartphones and what we call flagship device today. But there's still some compromises there. It's not a perfect device. I love the size of it as well, the compact size, but I think this is the phone for the masses. This is a phone for everyone at just under £600, $599. I think it's more than affordable, and it's also affordable in the sense that you're getting a lot for the buck as well. And that's more than what you can ask for. From a techie person, maybe I wanted a A65 processor in there, A65 Plus as a 2020 device, a latest phone from Google. But again, from experience with Google devices, it doesn't need that level of power. It just works. I think if anyone's used the Google Pixel 3 or Google Pixel 4 before, they would know exactly what I'm talking about here. But yeah, good pricing. And first impression, the best of the Google lineup right now, and it's great. Good size. And if there's anything, it's pricing for people. There are still cheaper devices out there that's got maybe better, that's packing more for the punch in there. But this one gives you 3 years of security updates and Android updates as well, and it's straight from Google. What else can you ask for? And this is the best in biz when it comes to camera quality as well. Okay, I'm just waffling on now. Hopefully you guys get the point. So that's it for the Google Pixel 5 first impressions, guys. Let me know what you think, as always, in the comments below. If you guys want anything in particular tested and put in a final review, let us know in the comments below. In the meantime, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell notification as well. And thanks for watching. See you in the next one.